Hello again, my friends, and welcome back to the full-time show. 3 points are in the bag, and I can hear some people crying from here about Paul Lambert pulling that one out of the proverbial hat, but he did. And by days did he do it, Amy Downs. 2-1.
He didn't. Massive stroke of flipping luck. Where did that equaliser come from? And then fair play. I had given up. I've been on Twitter, Lambert out, ranting about wasting my afternoon, wasting like the last £30 in my bank account, and I've spent £10 of it on this game. And then that happens, and you're like, oh, okay. The joys of being a football fan, Martin.
Absolutely. It was never in doubt. It's a 90-minute game, ladies and gentlemen.
97.
90 minutes. It's 90 minutes, and there you go. 2-1. 3 points are in the bag. I don't care how you get them. Don't care how it comes. You know, we were due a bit of luck. Let's be honest. We haven't had a run of luck in a while, as we wait for Mr. Robbie D to join us at the bar. Rob, as he's late, it's his round.
Probably picking himself up off the floor.
Get those orders in, because Robbie D's buying the drinks. I say Lambert pulled it out of the bag because he brought Bennett's on, and Bennett changed that game for me. His trickery, his fast feet, really hurt Shrewsbury, and for me, that's what I wanted from the manager. Something like that. Change the game for a positive and make it happen. As always, guys, we want to hear from you on this part of the show. So if you do want to come on and have your say about Paul Lambert, about today's game, about Tuesday's game, about Alan Judge, anything you want to say about today, about Ipswich Town, anything in general, get yourself on the show. Just ask for the link and you can come on. So, Amy, 2-1 win, but who was your man of the match to kick things off?
Oh, God, Jesus. Honestly, I'm going to say Bennett's, because until that moment, there wasn't anything separating them, was there?
No. What do you make of Keenan Bennett? Because he's a player that fans have often called for in terms of starting games. Did you see enough from him tonight to say, or this afternoon, to say Tuesday should come around and he should be the first name on the team sheet?
Not for me, really. And I think, as we were saying earlier, there's a lot of competition in the side. So I think that would be quite a lot to expect at this stage. I feel the same about Lancaster. I really, really like Lancaster. I enjoy, and again, loved seeing him score today. But it's just a bit soon. You know, you've got to earn your place. You've got to get to know the game. You've got to, wait until it's your turn, I suppose. So no, I don't think that he should have been starting, but I do think that other people should have been starting today and not waiting until the 97th minute to turn the game around.
Okay. Yeah. No. I can get on board with that one. Emerson Fairweather believes the result masks a very lacklustre performance. Need a huge improvement for the two games coming up. And Nick Muller says what we all think. Imagine being there for that last minute goal. True. You should have seen my front room, Nick. Oh, it was like limbs everywhere. I fell off the sofa. No, I didn't really fall off the sofa, but I needed it. Mike Davey reminded me of AFC Wimbledon at home last season. Then we've got Jack Messenger. Lucky Lambert didn't do enough to change the match, just changed the odd personnel. It seems like the only thing he told them to do was hopefully hit it long and gamble. Ben King is why did Lambert change striker for striker and not change the system? It's a very good point, Ben. That really is. We've got Nick Muller again. Yes, JT would have been a good video. It really would have been. I've got Ben waiting in the live VIP room. Ben, enjoy the champagne. It's 3 points in the bag. We'll get you on very shortly. Callie, # Lambert out. Should have been easier than that. We were lucky.
Lambert. Just twig what he's saying. Very amusing.
Russell Claydon. Lambert can't matter the luck now. Brett McGowan did well. My man of the match could be a big 3 points in our season. And Hawks, I hope you're recovering well, my man. Win or not, absolute just performance. Lambert out. Actually, on that comment, I don't. Benjamin, welcome in. How you doing? 3 points are in the bag. King Lambert reigns. Talk to me about today's game.
Oh, SS Pistol League has left the port. Oh. Do you know what you were saying about Lambert making the changes, and that's what we want to see? He didn't make those changes. Two of his midfield got injured. He was forced to make those changes. We needed 4 subs to get going today, and 2 of them were forced. That today had nothing to do with Lambert, absolutely nothing. I would argue that
And
the
even-
only reason we won is because we got another two injuries.
Yeah, and even after he'd made the subs, it took until right at the end of the game for it to make any difference. That was not down to the manager. Nothing today was down to the manager except how
Oh my
crap we
God.
were.
You can't slag a manager off when you lose and then say when you win nothing was to do with him. Like he brought Bennett on. He took Jackson off. I want to talk about this one with you, Ben. He took Jackson off. Where do you stand on this? For me, sports science rules the day, and I think sometimes as a manager you've got to say, yes, I know we agreed 60 minutes for the player, but I'm a goal down. He's looking lively. He's staying.
Well, okay, we'll put it this way. We always we're always holding off on our ideal team. There's always, we don't want to play too many players. We don't want to get players injured. We lost the season last season doing that exact thing.
Exactly.
We don't want to come back if players are not available, because so we'll give up that match and let the internationals happen. There's always a reason why we're not playing our top team, and this year it's going to be injuries. Play your best team every single game. Put two strikers up. We're 1-0 to get down against Shrewsbury, who are third bottom, who have lost most of their games. So they cannot keep a lead. And you change one striker for the other. Put two strikers on, man. For goodness sake, two strikers up front at home against a crap team. Okay, I don't think they were that crap, actually. I thought they were okay. But it's another performance. If we play like that on the weekend, or the next two games, we're going to be murdered. We had a fluke 1 in 50 games goal that we scored a bit. I like Bennett, so I agree with you, Amy. I think he had a great game when he came on, and I still say he should be starting, without question. But the goal he scored was the biggest fluke ever. It took 3 players watching that dribble past their shoe to go in. Not every team is going to do that,
No.
I'm not moaning.
Yes.
I'm not moaning. But it had to happen like that for us to score. Not all teams are going to, and that is why Shrewsbury give away goal after goal after goal after goal, game after game, because they do that all the time. That there's only going to be a small handful of teams that do that on the basis that we can actually exploit. I'm really happy we won. I'm happy we won, but by Christ, I bet Lambert is thinking, thank Christ
For you.
for that.
I can confirm the Lamberts are thinking, yes, we certainly are, all of us tonight.
You know what his interview's going to be? Let me just spell out the interview. I thought we were great, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. We were magnificent. We played fantastic. I can't ask for any more than boys. I'm so proud. Absolutely brilliant. My God, I don't even have the words. That's what's going to be in 15 minutes time. You know it's coming.
Ben, Alan Judge, he won the game for us at the end there, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. Alan Judge. I mean, I always said it with Jay Tab, with McCarthy, there's always one player that will play regardless. I don't know what Alan Judge has on Lambert. I don't know whether he's got evidence of an affair or dodgy dealing somewhere. He's got something. I want to see that man's phone, because it's got to be something big. How that man starts every week is for me the biggest it perplexes me more than others. And other players who are desperate to get into the squad, they look at that and think, well, he's having consistently average or not so good games. What does that tell to other players? Playing for the shirt, you have to earn it. What's he done to earn it exactly? What's he done? You tell me. And the fact you can't, and that says everything. That is everything right there. Everyone will say the answer to this question, but it's what it tells the other players, who are probably training hard. And aside from all that, really happy. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy today. Another 2 injuries, which means we're
I did say, didn't I, Ben? Double draw. I did say double draw of that bingo ball. I did say it'd be a double draw.
I mean, you called it straight away. Bishop, we're not going to see him till June now. That's he'll be out.
Season's over.
Yeah, and it's devastating, because I actually thought he was having a pretty good game. Okay, not too bad, not great, not fantastic, but good. But it's another 2 injuries off. And with us, I thought having a couple of weeks break of internationals, okay, get the players back, get them fresh, train lightly, just work on the basics. It actually seems to have been the worst thing to happen. Everyone's picking up knocks again. It's just this momentum's building up of injuries now. And Ipswich Town players, they don't come back quick.
Nope. Yep. Joe Dickerson, we robbed them today. Nice to finally have some luck come our way. Simon Harris with a comment of the show so far. Credit to Lambert for his subs, but tactics in general shocking. More injuries, we are cursed.
He didn't make the subs. They were forced on him. He didn't make them.
Ben Lancaster, our star of the show. We are big friends of Jack Lancaster on the show here. Big fans rather.
Yeah.
Was it good to see him on the score sheet? Do you want to see more of Jack in the starting 11?
You're not going to like me for this. I always write these notes down as I watch the game. And the last note I wrote at 94 minutes was Lancaster, question mark, exclamation mark. And I say it most games. I think he's a good prospect, but I don't think he's that good. I think I'm alone in that. Everyone seems to think he's some, oncoming Kieran Dyer or something.
I think he's brilliant.
I don't.
I want to get more of him in the team.
A good poacher's goal today, and congratulations to him. And I cheered like everyone else did. But I don't get it. I think it's just me, and I'm totally wrong. The comments are probably blowing up, but I just don't get it with him. I think he's okay. He might be with us another couple of seasons and move on to Swindon or something, given a move, or maybe be a squad player in the Championship if he gets lucky. I just think he's average. Sorry.
Ben, I feel the same about Dizelle. I think I have I don't get the fuss. I was there when he scored on his debut at Sheffield Wednesday, and I loved him and felt like, this is the beginning of this amazing fairy tale story, and it hasn't come to anything. I don't personally trust Dizelle. I feel like we're a bit shaky with him. We give the ball away too easily. So I think Lancaster to you is what Dizelle is to me, and I think because they are our boys, they are, through and through Ipswich. There's a lot of extra pressure on, and that can make it hard as fans because you're either give them a little bit more leeway.
As usual, Amy, I think your insight's absolutely spot on. I think it says more about our expectations of homegrown players. Yeah. As soon as a player's ours, you think, oh my God, he get him on, he's fantastic. No, I'll tell you what, get a 25-year-old midfielder from Morecambe who's going to have a good game more often than not over someone
like Norwood.
Academy. I don't get Norwood. I've still got the faith in Norwood. I don't think he's a particularly great ambassador for the football club, but he's clearly got ability, and I'll be putting him in every game. I still have the faith with him. And Jackson, okay, he's unfit, he's not sharp, but most of our players are injured so often. You can argue that no one's got to be fit and sharp. So,
agreed.
Okay, Ben, Hull and Charlton up next. Points total return before I let you go. And of course, what drink are you drinking this evening, sir?
Oh, I don't know. I'm going to go to the shop and buy something. It's not going to be as strong as what it was at 95 minutes, but it'll be a toast tonight because the 3 points is 3 points. Hull and Charlton, Jesus Christ! I mean, who knows who's going to be injured again between now and then? Who knows what 11 is going to be on the pitch? I couldn't toss a coin to tell you.
You need a blooming strong drink to get through the next 7 days, don't we?
Yeah, I know. And the danger is, Lambert, he's going to say we played fantastically today. The only good thing is he can't start with the same starting 11. And he'll be forced to make a change. For me, Bennett has to play. And we have to have two strikers up front. We're not funneling through balls from the midfield and the wings up to a lone striker. It's not working. Have two players up front.
Okay.
So I think he won't, but I agree.
My most optimistic would be 3 points. Win one, lose one. And that's me being really optimistic. And I hope I'm wrong.
Be negative. I hate to see you be negative, Ben. Right. As always, we love you. We appreciate you. We'll see you Tuesday, my man. Look after yourself. Robbie, finally here with the drinks.
There he is.
There he is. Get the beers in. Robbie, we won. 3 points.
Got the beers in, my son.
Lambert, come on, talk to me. What do you think about that second half? Jamie, I see you in the VIP lounge. You're coming on next, my man. Stay right there.
What do I think about that second half? Pretty bang average, to be honest. I mean, they scored a goal via a number of deflections, wherever it was. I mean, that was a lucky break. Lancaster, I disagree slightly with the previous chap. I mean, for me, he's better out wide. And he's still relatively unproven because he's had such a long injury in the same way that Dizelle had, but he's not been around for so long. I think he's better out wide. Having said that, the last 2 games he's popped up with a goal from 3 yards, poacher's goal. And last week, against Sunderland, he put a shot in the bottom corner. So what he's finding a way to do is a sort of a Guion Edwards style of playing out wide, but finding himself in the box when the ball comes from the other side. If he keeps doing that, he'll be all right at this level for me, because I do think he's a good player. I don't think he's a finished article. I'm still not entirely convinced he's back to his best, but he's adding goals to his game in the same way that Guion Edwards has. And, yet again, strikers not scoring goals. Jackson, no goals in the league. Norwood, no goals in the league. Hawkins, one goal in the league.
Because they've not been playing, but I do.
There's still no goals between the strikers. Not a single goal, apart from that one Hawkins. One goal. We need those goals from midfield. Without them, we're in big trouble.
Great.
Do you feel we really missed Guion today?
Just about to say the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you both feel that loss.
We missed the pace.
Exactly
when Bennett's come on, it added something. I'm afraid Sears was out of the game. For me, Judge was nowhere near the game. I know he was involved in the winning goal, but I mean, how he didn't score that one off the post. I mean, I could have scored that with a Sunday morning hangover. Just put your foot.
I watched you play. No, you can't.
He went with the furthest away foot. Just poke it in with your wrong foot. Come on, man.
I've watched you play, Rob.
The amount of misses today was ridiculous, where literally all you've got to do is just throw your body at the ball. Like the Judge miss was because the goalkeeper literally threw himself at the ball. If Judge had done the same, the ball would have found its way over. Just put everything in. And our players are not willing to put everything on the line. They're not.
I'm still not really sure that manager made the right changes. Really not.
I don't know
why can't we have two strikers? Why can't we have two strikers?
Well,
we don't score the second goal. We don't score the second goal without the first one being deflected in by their player. No way.
Yep.
The thing is, and I do agree with you. I did want to see two strikers, and that sub did, and it still does smell of a sports science decision more than a football decision. It's more of a predetermined sub, just because when it was made. And how he was performing at that point in time, and obviously being a goal down, and that's football these days. That is the way football is becoming. It's becoming more analytical driven, more sports science driven. But I do love football fans, and this. If you discount this, so and so played terrible. Like it's 90 minutes. Alan Judge didn't have a great game, but he did enough in the end to help your team win the game.
He did nothing. The whole game, he did nothing for the whole game apart from a one shot saved in the last kick. Bennett's did more than him in 15 or so minutes he was on.
I think it's about looking to the next game, isn't it? I completely accept that. By the way. I completely accept that what happened this game is, you can't change that, but you can look at what happened this game and make sure it doesn't bloody happen again in the next two games to be against the two best sides in the league. We've got to be better, and we cannot be better with the same side playing. And exactly, Ben was bang on. Thank God he can't go out and play the same. Unfortunately, no, I should never ever say that. I was just about to say, unfortunately, it wasn't Sears or Judge that was injured, but I would never wish an injury on a player. But I just feel like Judge has had his chance now. Sears has had his chance. You know what I mean? But I have no faith. I told you I was going to be ranting Lambert tonight.
They don't get into a tackle. They're never going to get injured like that. They look like me.
Well, very true, very true. The only way they're going to get injured is in our training, like the rest of our blooming players. I have no faith that Lambert is going to make the changes needed for us to be even competitive against Hull and Charlton in the next 7 days.
Okay, all right. So I'm seeing a lot of we were lucky to win today, or we won't win doing that again.
It.
Yeah, but how often have we left Portman Road, Mr. D and Amy, and we've not shithoused it? We've walked away with a 1-1 draw or a defeat. How nice was it to see us actually win a game we didn't quite maybe deserve to win, or we came back from? Like I've seen teams over the years come to Portman Road, get a goal, and we've never broken them down ever. It was just so nice to see players like Bennett. You say he didn't do a lot, but what he did do was enough to win you the game. That was get on the ball and have
it was
two
great.
touch, pass,
it was great
move,
to see us come from behind. It was great to see us come from behind to win. However we got there, because when's the last time we did that? Did we do it last season at all?
No,
I can't recall it.
Statman tweeted earlier the last time.
Of course he did.
What did he tweet earlier? It was about conceding for a penalty. I wrote it down, so I thought it was great. Under Lambert, the result after we conceded a penalty first. We've won one game, drawn one game, and lost 9. So that's we've won 2 now.
You can change
so that.
that.
I mean, that's pretty exactly. That is pretty special. But I think, Rob, as always, do you know what? I think Martin needs to stop putting us on together because we're both so in tune with each other. We're exactly the same opinions, I think.
It might be that Martin's clueless. That might be the lowest.
That might be why he needs us to clue him up a bit, doesn't he?
I do. I tell you what, we have got Mr. Sensible coming on the show, Mr. Peter Cox.
Yay.
Peter, welcome in. Before I ask you anything, Peter, where is the puppet? Yeah, you've been found out, haven't you?
Okay, somebody's been watching other streams, haven't you?
I have.
You obviously have. Yeah.
He's a moonlighter.
I didn't exactly go to plan, but there you go.
I liked it. I really enjoyed it. It's the best part of the stream.
Oh, okay. I'll tell Mr. G that one.
Oh, no, don't. I like Alex. Don't. How are you, Peter? What did you get today's game?
Well, I was just quickly checking Twitter, and apparently Ipswich Town are now going to change their club colours to black and white stripy shirts and masks. Because let's face it, we stole that today. We stole it. There was. Sorry, just to repeat what Rob and Amy. We're just not convinced. I hate to say it, but Sears' days are.
Same.
Oh, it pains me to say, but poor old Sears, he's just, he's not up to it. And Judge, what hasn't been said before, yes, he had a hand in the goal, but he's run about like a headless chicken, really.
Peter, Rob.
Sorry, I'm getting a little bit tired of seeing these players like Judge and Sears and Jackson and Norwood as well, who have so much potential. And then Ipswich can't bring it out of them. I remember the years when we did bring these potential out of these players, but it hasn't happened for 2 decades. Do you know what I mean? Like, Sears could have potentially been, before his injury last year, the best player in League One. And now, like, what do we do to them?
Well, Rob said that it was. He thinks it's a very safe selection from Lambert, Sears, and Judge. You know you're going to get from them. Do you agree with that, Peter? And if so, would you change it? It sounds like you would. And if so, who would you be bringing in to fill those 2 positions?
I definitely would change it. I mean, is it the old boy? Is it the mates game? He's playing. Is he putting in Sears and Judge every week? Who I would put in? There's not a lot of. I mean, who's came on again today? Was he actually on the pitch? If I wanted to send him come on, what was he on? I don't know who to replace it. The injuries again are mounting up today. Nolan's gone off. It looks like he's going to be out for a little while, and Bishop, and hopefully it's not going to be his injury curse again. But good God!
So all things considered, do you line up the way you finished the game? Do you keep Bennett's in the starting 11? Do you keep Lancaster behind the striker? How do you how does Peter Cox's 11 look for Tuesday in the whole city?
I would, you said I would keep that team how it finished, because Bennett's looked sharp. I did come on and moan about it when he played against Crawley. I thought he had a perfect chance there to have a big, being a big fish in the small pond, all the youngsters around, but he didn't do it. But today he did make a difference when he came on. So I would definitely continue. Perhaps not. I don't think as much as I like to see Norwood in there. I don't think he's not actually match fit yet. So I would have Jackson in there. But as Amy said, we're not playing to the strengths.
So what are the strengths?
Well, Jackson's his pace. We're not using his pace.
We'll never use his pace in a one centre forward role. You're gonna send him hopelessly down the channels. I mean, he might get there and stuff, but then you end up with no strikers in the box. There was one time, right at the end in front of the North stand there, where Norwood went out wide, and then I think Bennett and Chambers wanted to cross. They looked up, and Norwood was still out wide. There is nobody else in the middle when you've only got one striker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You have 2 strikers in there if you want to get
somebody in there with him.
You're getting a lot of love, Peter. Peter, Brett McGavin. We've not yet spoke on him, and I'll ask Amy and Rob as well. But what were your thoughts on Brett McGavin's 97+ minutes today?
It was absolutely great to see him in the side. That was the best bit of news when I saw him. I thought Mr. Lambert's going to do it again, drop him. But yeah, he was in. He done okay. His corners in the first half were very poor, because that's one thing we thought. He was taking corners better than Dazelle. But, he started off, the corners were poor. But, he done all right. Keep him in.
Absolutely. Before you go, Hull City Tuesday night. You look worried. Are you praying? Oh, okay.
I'm not Catholic, by the way.
Give me a points total for this weekend. And, of course, I promise you'll come on Tuesday night.
Promise. Well, a points total for after Tuesday?
Yes, please.
A point.
Fucking negativity round here. Jesus.
Realistic. There's a fine line between negativity and realism.
Peter, I expect...
Ask the cruncher.
I will. You don't have to ask the cruncher to be told by what he thinks. On Tuesday, will you bring the puppet on, please? Because I think it needs to be made a debut on the show.
I'll try.
Good man. We love you,
unless
Peter.
you're calling me the puppet, then I'll be on.
No, never. But we'll see you Tuesday with love, with care. Look after yourself. And
thanks for having me on.
If you've got your link for your son's gaming channel, just drop it in the chat.
Okay, mate. Yeah, will do. Thank you.
No worries. Look after yourself.
Cheers.
Robbie, Amy, Brett McGavin. How good was he today in both of your opinions? I thought he was fantastic. I can't wait to see him and Dozell play together, because I think with Andre pulling the strings and McGavin doing that nitty-gritty sort of stuff, and then further forward, the midfield three of Downs, Andre and McGavin just has me tingling with excitement. What do you
Amy,
think?
you can go first if you like.
He feels like a shining light. I mean, I think you've got to bear in mind that we were, am I allowed to swear? But like today was
Sure,
awful.
Facebook page.
Today, all right. Oh, they see me swearing all the time. That's
It
absolutely
would be
fine.
unlike you, Amy, to say something controversial, wouldn't it? So
I just tell it like it is. That's all. Look, I thought that I enjoyed seeing him. I think that certainly the first half in particular, he was probably the only one that was standing out as somebody that I was quite liking watching. I think overall, I'm not sure that he had that big an influence on the game, but I think that's because we were so poor as a team. So absolutely, having not really seen much of him myself this season, I've enjoyed today, and I would like to see. And when you talk about the midfields of Dazelle, McGavin, and Bishop, of course, that's beautiful. That's what we want as Ipswich fans. But I have zero faith. I'm going to do it again, Martin. I have zero faith that Lambert is the one to pull these youngsters through.
Rob?
Martin, if you look at the comments, there's one saying total agree, Callie. Can you look two above that?
What, to Callie's actual point? Or
No. The one where it says totally above that, then there's Facebook user, the top Facebook user comment.
what, this one?
This one. See, I know what they're saying, but Brett is 18, 19, and Judge is like, I don't know, 32 or whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
Brett is an established professional,
yeah,
right? And he's putting in a Judge-like performance at that age, and that comment's spot on. But he's like 18. I mean, how many first-team appearances he made? 3, 4, 2? I actually don't know.
Yeah.
So correct me if I'm wrong. Could be more, but it's about that, isn't it? I thought today he did the basics right, but he wasn't spectacular. His corners were poor, but our corners have been poor for 10, 15 years. You're going to blame that on that guy?
You can't judge a man on his set piece play. Like, yeah, that's down to
we judged Grant Ledbetter on his set piece plays many times, as I recall.
I defend Judge on his set pieces. I've been saying until a couple of weeks ago I'd put him in the team for his set pieces because we can't take them.
Leandro
I thought
Brett
McGavin
was strong today.
I thought he was in. He used his body well. I hate to say it, but for me it was quite a Scouse-like performance. Scouse on a good day. There's not been many of them for a few years. It was one of the Scouse-like performances. He used his body well. He did the basics, but he did not do anything spectacular. But that's why you've got Nolan in there. That's why you've got Bishop in there. It's really not McGavin's fault that those two lads went off injured, I'm afraid.
I'm going to ban that word.
He did what, Nolan?
No, no, 2 words. Scouse and Nolan, but more Scouse. Because every time I see McGavin play, the Cole Scouse extension deal looks worse and worse.
For me, there's no point unless he is Brett McGavin's dad or his mentor. then there's no
I
point having
told
him around
you
because-
earlier. I
because-
said
because-
this
because
earlier.
McGavin can
You
do
need
that
the
job.
influence. Sorry, I don't mean to talk over you.
No, it's fine.
You need the influence with the. I mean, in general, we need the influence off the pitch. But this has been. I mean, this has been a flipping weird year for us as normal, mere mortals. For footballers, it's been even more ridiculous. They need the Chambo and the Scouse in the. I have no qualms with giving him an extension at all. And do you know what? With the amount of bloody injuries we're getting at the moment, I'm quite happy to have that option of bringing Scouse on. He gets a very, very raw deal from our fans for someone who is so useful.
The thing is, Amy, we
you know why? Sorry.
No,
mate.
you go.
No, I was going to say, you know why, Amy? The truth is because he's unspectacular, but he's
fancy.
32,
Yeah.
33, 34. Do you know what I mean? If he was 18, we'd be having the same discussion as we now are. We'd be defending him like McGavin.
Yeah.
McGavin in his career will need to do more than Scouse to make a success of himself, right? Scouse does the basics well. McGavin did the basics well today, but I don't know how you can criticise McGavin. He's come in. Everyone knows he's behind Downs. He's behind Dazelle. He's probably behind Scouse if they're all fit. But
he shouldn't be because today he was doing.
Whether he should or shouldn't be, but he probably is in terms, at least in development. The others are all ahead of him. He's come in. He's done fine. His corners were average. Our corners have been average since 2006. Don't worry about it. We'll be all right. We'll deal with it.
The thing with Cole Scouse is, and this is where I'm at, we live in a salary cap era. We haven't got the money to say, but he's a good influence. Like Cole Scouse's wages, I don't know what they are, and a man's coin is a man's coin. But that coin could have been spent on another striker or a creative midfielder
Fair
or
point.
something that would have helped this team win football matches. Because Brett
But then-
McGavin...
What you're saying is it's a luxury we can't afford, right?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
But you said at half-time, I think it was, that we need leaders. We need those leaders there. So you can't expect the McGavins and the Dazelles and I'm trying to think of the young players. You can't expect them to be doing it. So you need a Scouse, you need a Chambo stepping up. Yeah. It's about like thinking back into, a business head. It's the culture. It's the culture within a business, isn't it? And that for me, do you know what? I was ranting about this before I came on. It comes down to confidence, and Scousey and Chambo are the ones that will help build the confidence because they do. And how much would you love to go into the office and have Scouse there, like messing about and perking you up and looking after you?
that is Martin's idea of the worst Monday morning you could ever have found. He'd be having Irish coffee if that was the situation.
I've been talking about Cole Scouse since the Fulham boat trip. Rob will back that one up.
Yeah, 2014 or something, isn't it?
The day he signed, I think. Anyway, yeah.
The reality is, what I wanted to say is that those players that are underperforming in that team are not the young players. It's not Downs underperforming. It's not Dazelle underperforming. Even Bishop. It's the elderly statesmen of the teams. Yes, and I have to say, Stephen Ward as well. In times, his positioning is woeful. He's a good footballer. He can play football. He's good on the ball. I have no doubt about that. But he was caught out of position, which dragged McGuinness out of position, and we all know what happened in the first 2 minutes. That's 2 minutes into the game. There's older players in that team. McGavin's not underperforming for me, and I thought, without being spectacular, look in the comments there. We've had 1 negative and 5, 6, 7 positive, I think. He wasn't spectacular. His corners were poor.
Absolutely.
But he didn't let us down.
Before we round up and ask you about Hull and Charlton coming up, Amy's obviously with us for the whole game. So for those that have said we love Amy, she's back on Tuesday. Do not fret. As always, if you want to support the podcast, the show, with equipment, etc., the links are in the chat. Jump there. Anything you can give is always valuable. Help us to grow. We've got a lot of plans to where to take this show and how to deliver it in the future. And of course, if you're a business owner, you can advertise your business in one of these 2 spaces. So, that's the plugs out of the way. Shameless as it is. But a man's got to earn some coin. So,
shameless. Good TV show.
Scat. Great show. Amy, you're back on Tuesday. So, what? I'm not going to ask you. I'll ask you on Tuesday. Whatever a pre-game show. So, Rob, Tuesday coming up. Hull City, the big hitters so far in this division. What are your expectations? What are you hoping for? What do you want to see more of? Not a lot of. Talk to me.
Does it mean, Martin, that technically we will see you next Tuesday?
Nah.
Yes,
I've had too much.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, you will be. Yes, I am.
I didn't say anything. I purely stated the calendar.
You're I love you. Come on, get
That's
on
why
with
you
it.
have me on. I
I've
was
got pork
wondering, but
chops
that
in the
might be
oven.
why.
Get on with it.
Not dumplings this time, no.
No. That upset Peter Cox last time.
Yeah, he was not happy with your dumplings,
He
was
was not happy with my dumplings.
I would trade to see what he thinks about your roast potatoes.
Come on,
mate.
Fanny
Jesus
Craddock.
Christ.
Get on with it.
Jody Craddock. Honestly, I do think Hull are the big
Really
hitters,
big.
you said, didn't you? Well, surely they're only as big hitters as we are last season because they collapsed in the Championship last season. There's no way they should have been relegated. There was a surprise for them to get relegated, even more so than it was us. I don't think they're as big a hitters as people think. People are taking them for. Do you know what I mean? They lost at home to Peterborough. They lost at home to a couple of teams, haven't they? And those teams have then gone on to prove that they're nothing special. Unfortunately, for this house, Posh have lost 2 in a row now. But it can happen to anyone. It can happen to them, to us, to whoever it is. I think they're beatable. Everyone thinks because they're a big club. No one's looking at their players and thinking they're dangerous. It's because they're Hull, nothing else.
Okay.
They got relegated in horrendous style. Horrendous style. They were like 4th or 5th in January, weren't they? I don't know how Grant McCann kept his job. I really don't. I mean, that is a collapse. Not a way to describe it.
No, they did. So
I fancy us more against Hull and Charlton. Johnny Williams will do us some damage to Charlton.
Mike Brown's here. Woo! Love Mike Brown on the show. Great.
Charlton have got serious pace up top. I know Hull have as well, but I think Charlton have got better players. I fancy Charlton to win the league, personally. Charlton, Peterborough are my 2.
Same.
What is your starting 11? I'm going to write this one down because I'm going to hold your feet to the fire. What is your starting 11, Robbie D? Holy in goal.
I would sign a keeper by Tuesday, but that's every week because I don't rate either of them.
I'd wheel out Kelvin Davis from retirement, me.
See if Slater's available, Martin. Better call him, mate.
No. We want a guy that saves the ball.
We haven't got one now.
I've trained Slater. I know how good he is.
I wonder if Slater watches. We'll have to find that one out. Maybe he'll turn up in the comments if he does.
Same back 4? Chambers, Chuckle Brothers.
No,
Ward.
Wolfenden in for NCR.
Wolfie, yeah.
Really? Do you know what? Actually, I was not bad because I thought NCR played better than.
You're going to take McGuinness out. You can't do that. Look, both NCR and McGuinness need an experienced player next to them. If you put an experienced player next to both of them, McGuinness will be the better defender.
Adam Flatt said he listened to the Shrewsbury.
Not sure I agree.
Yet another side who described us as ponderous. Simon Harris, we need to start
ponderous.
Today. Pompey's done all early goals and chasing the game. Okay, so you've got Wolfenden and McGuinness with Ward. Midfield 3, or is it a 2? Is it a 5? Is it what is it?
Who got injured today though? We count Bishop out, aren't we?
Bishop and Nolan.
So who the hell is left?
I think he'll play the same shape, but I have to say, I think Jackson actually looks less fit than Norwood. If I really had to comment, but in reality, I think both of them are fit enough to start together, and they would take some weight load off each other.
I wish.
I would find a way to go on the front foot. I know you're right, Amy. He won't, but I would find a way to do it. So if necessary, you play Hughes and McGavin and play a really defensive 2 CDMs as a 4-4-2, and you go at it with wingers and you go at it with strikers. We're Ipswich Town. We play over the top of the midfield anyway. The midfield doesn't see the ball apart from going over the top for 10 years. Don't worry about the midfield.
Martin, can I nominate Rob to be our new manager, please? Let's just sack Martin.
Don't do that. There'll be banners against me before next weekend. Rightly so.
Right, Rob, 3 points, 1 point, or 0 points to close the show.
I'm going to be really, really naive here. I genuinely don't know who we're playing at home and who we're playing away. I don't know the fixtures this week. I know who we're playing.
Both at home. Charlton, Hull and Charlton.
See, if we're away, I fancy 2 defeats, if I'm honest. But I think we're doing all right at home. We've actually conceded 1 goal from the penalty spot. I fancy beat Hull and draw with Charlton.
Graham Tate, Charlton only drew at Gillingham today, not that good, surely. Andrew Laws, where's the exciting football we were promised?
I think Charlton, if you get them on their day, they've got the players to beat anyone. If you don't, I think they're beatable. But I think, unlike us, they will turn up for a big game.
Okay, and JT,
and Johnny Williams will be well up for it.
Until KVY comes
back.
Yeah. Right. With that, we are done. We are dusted. We are back Tuesday. I believe it's 6:30 for a 7 p.m. kickoff. It's Amy, myself, and the main man, Mr. Neil Moles, in the studio with you all.
Amy, make sure you tell Neil how it is. Make sure you keep him under wraps. Once he gets going, he can really talk, you know. Believe it.
He can. He said in the WhatsApp he would be on tonight, but he misplaced his headphones. So
Poor
classic.
I call bullshit.
So Rob, I'm pretty well practiced at making people sit back down and shush. So
I've not picked up on that actually.
Leander enjoyed the show. We thank you. Facebook user, when we look back over this season, there'll be a few Sunderland fixtures when we were robbed, and games like today when we did that, we did the robbing. It balances itself out. For me, how we perform against Hull and Charlton is the gauge to set for whether we can have promotion contenders, not games like today. That is a fantastic.
He should be manager.
That is a fantastic comment. Make sure next show you click the link to allow us to use your name, because that comment needs a name. That is a great comment. We love it.
That is Lambert Paul right there.
Absolutely, yeah. And Christopher Martin, you can't get much more exciting than a last-minute winner. I certainly enjoyed it.
Would have been scenes, wouldn't it? Would have been limbs.
It was. But with love, with care, we'll see you all Tuesday. Look after yourselves.
Salute.